Hello everyone, my name is Scott Rometta, and this is my video submission for my Code Platoon application. So the first question is, tell us about a time you had to learn something new. What was it? How did you approach learning it? And in hindsight, what would you do differently? So just as I was getting out of the Navy, I acquired a job in the AV industry with no experience in running a soundboard. So the best way for me to learn something like running a soundboard would be to pick up the basics by shadowing someone and then doing trial by fire, just getting thrown into running the soundboard. So at first, I learned how to set up the equipment, such as the soundboard, positioning the speakers, and powering up everything. I then got into the basics, such as adjusting the volume, the gain, and the EQ, so each sound sounded crisp and clear with good treble and bass. I then started running sound at a church I was attending at the time, which gave me a whole new level of understanding because I was someone that people relied on for audio during the service to sound good. I learned new techniques to make it sound better each time. If I was to change anything going back, I would say I'd probably spend more time learning the harder parts of running a soundboard, such as compression and FX. So the second question is, why are you interested in programming? I've always been interested in solving puzzles, and for me, programming is solving a puzzle using a specific type of dialogue and being very precise while doing it. I think my brain is wired to work that way. I currently work in a job that is tech-related but does not challenge my mind the way that I think using JavaScript and Python would. I also like the fact that programming is continually evolving with the world to stay relevant. I also think there is a satisfaction that can be had from building code and creating something to be proud of. I'm going to be going over the Codeland username validation challenge in CoderByte. This challenge basically goes through a set of rules that you have to follow in order for a username to be valid. Those rules are: the username is between 4 and 25 characters, it must start with a letter, it can only contain letters, numbers, and the underscore character, it cannot end with the underscore character, and if the username is valid, then your program should return the string true. Otherwise, return the string false. So the first thing we're going to do is create a function, which is what the code will run through in order for it to validate that username. The next thing we would do is set a couple variables. So we'll create a len variable that basically determines the length of the string. We'll do a first character variable and a last character variable. So the next thing we would do is create an if statement. Basically what this is it's running the input through this, and if it follows everything in here, like this one would say that the length of the username is between 4 and 25 characters, and then the next if statement is if the first character matches lowercase a to z, and if the string match for the rest of the username matches uppercase a to z, lowercase a to z, and 0 through 9, and underscore. If it follows these rules, then it will return true. If it doesn't follow any of these rules, then it will return false. So the output would be determined through these set of rules.